A lack of competition and growing retail margins are continuing to keep prices high at Kiwi supermarkets. The Commerce Commission has released its first annual grocery report, which paints a concerning picture of the industry. It says there has been no meaningful improvement in competition since the release of the grocery market study 2 years ago, with Foodstuffs North Island, Foodstuffs South Island and Woolworths New Zealand accounting for 82% of grocery market revenue. That's just 1% less than in 2019. And in the 4 years to 2023, retail margins, that's the difference between what consumers pay for goods and what supermarkets pay suppliers, well, that's gone up 3.1% for non-fresh products and 0.4% for fresh products. Natasha Payne has more.
Kiwis feel as though they are still paying top price for their groceries.
Across the board, same with everything?
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot cheaper in Scotland.
Yeah, pretty high prices.
And that's because they are. The Commerce Commission has released its first annual grocery report, and the Grocery Commissioner says there are a number of issues.
There are a number of red flags for us, but we will work at speed.
In a competitive market, the Commission say they would expect the increase of prices to be limited. But anti-monopoly advocate Tex Edwards says because there is no competition, this isn't happening.
There's a structural problem. You need 3 or 4 players, not 2. And the third player must have substantial scale.
The report confirms there are still multiple barriers for new retailers, and one is land banking. The Commission has recently prosecuted Foodstuffs North Island for doing this in 3 different locations. But the major retailers still own more than 100 properties that aren't being used.
And they just sit on them. They rent them out to vape shops and all other types of little shops, and they leave them sitting there.
Another issue is the cost of opening a new supermarket with a limited population. But Edwards says there is hope. Back in the early 2000s, the Commission unbundled telecom, helping competitors into the market. And he says we are seeing the same thing unfold.
So we had a ministerial inquiry, then we had a market study, then we had a commissioner appointed, then we had a change in the Act. The same movie's playing out here.
But Foodstuffs and Woolworths say they're also struggling and are putting lower prices over profit. Woolworths say their profits are at their lowest since 2016. This financial year, they also made a loss of ½ cent for every dollar spent in store. Meanwhile, Foodstuffs say that their price increase has remained below 1% since March, and that they fully support the Commission's vision of a grocery sector that delivers value to New Zealanders.
The major supermarkets are saying the right thing, which is very positive. I want those words to be changed into actions.
The Commissioner is bringing in a wholesale code, and if the retailers breach that code, they could be fined up to $10 million. But Edwards hopes younger Kiwis will play their part and apply pressure on the government.
As the older generation move off to the yacht club or the golf course, younger generation aren't going to tolerate this level of monopolisation in their communities and pursue public policy that has more competition.
Because it will benefit every Kiwi at the checkout.